I just got done watching the latest two episodes of Orb, and I left episode 11 thinking, oh, this is bad, but then he's definitely dead. Like, you can't frame it as, I'll write the letter when I get back, and especially when you realize that Noak now knows who his daughter's hanging around with. He's 100% gonna die. So I walked into episode 12 assuming Badeni was going to die. And I say this as someone, if you ask me which character do I enjoy more, Ochi or Badeni, I would say Badeni. But my face when I realized that, oh no, in fact, we're actually building into potentially Rafal 2.0. Because back when I saw Rafal die, I was firmly convinced there would be no way you kill off the MC. And throughout this show, they've killed off many of characters that gave me MC vibes or very important vibes. But if they actually commit to killing off Ochi, which I don't know if they will or not, because the only way he gets out of this is if he kills Noak, which I don't think he dies just yet, or he wounds him enough that he can escape, which could be a possibility. But my utter disbelief, because the whole episode I'm thinking, oh, Ochi will go off under the tunnel, my boy's gonna write a letter, he's gonna get killed writing a letter or something. And my utter disbelief when I realized that, oh no, it's even worse than I was thinking. Have I said anime of the year yet? Because I think I've said it a lot. But all that episode 11 and 12 is proving is that this full adaptation, this two core anime that we're getting, is anime of the freaking goddamn year. I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my mind break in real time, you know it's over there exclusively. Jesus. I think what's crazy too is, like, this is something that we realized probably early on, especially with Rafal's death, is that it was going to be bigger than a singular character's work or idea to get things going. I mean, you can look at who started this all, which was Hubert, right? Like, his work is what started the whole chain of events occurring. Rafal had the inspiration, of course, and, you know, Gross and all the others. It just does this chain reaction, and it leads up into, essentially, our boy Ochi's faith. And I love the fact that it was always bigger than a singular character, and it probably will still be bigger than the characters we currently see. Because my initial fear in episode 11 was that when basically what ends up happening is Noak gets summoned by, like, the head bishop or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I wonder why. And then we start focusing on his daughter and, of course, our crew. And I'm thinking, oh God, if the research is done and it's about to be spread, if she got captured, him getting summoned because your daughter is a heathenous bitch from their point of view would make a lot of sense. And it's such a brilliant red herring because you're probably focusing on why did he get summoned, only for it to get sideswept that here's daddy. Now, but then he basically, you know, announcing what they study is something that at face value you might want to say, oh, how could he be so careless? But what he announced really, you know, if it wasn't an inquisitor, is not going to be seen as treasonous because ultimately what they announced at face value isn't something that's illegal. It's just if it's an inquisitor that hears it, they start to investigate a little more thoroughly. The fact that it all tied to the necklace is crazy to me. A lot of stuff probably could have been avoided had the necklace been more revealed, like, because for Badeni it's just an orb necklace, right? Like, it's nothing. It's something that he looked at and it helped him get some inspiration, but it's a damn globe. Like, it's not something to worry about. And as soon as Ochi reveals that, hey, yeah, back in the day, that necklace, he knows about it. We go from within the next couple of days, I'm out of here, to pack your shit, we're out of here right now. And I love the conversation that they have in episode 12 as he's burning the books, right? He's burning the research. He's only going to take what's necessary. He can't trust it with other people. It comes down to this argument and this bickering back and forth where he's like, basically, no one should be entrusting of it than me. And Ochi kind of throws it back like, yes, but should you really just be following a blind faith? Like, that's what it ends up becoming, because other people should have access to it, because even if constantly things are being changed and knowledge is being pursued and you realize what came before isn't right, at the end of the day, that's better than basically preaching a lie as the truth. It's so interesting to see how these two, under any normal circumstances, never should have had interactions with each other. They're so polar opposite. But whatever this friendship has become, it's insane to see, because it makes sense why he's so frustrated about the letter. Because now that he's been exposed, any of his letters will be screened. So therefore, who he's trying to get the letter to will never be given. So the idea that essentially the only way to do it is to give it in person, or at least drop it off at the church, But in order to do that, you'd have to have it wrote, and you'd have to do it right now because there's no way he's getting back in that church now. The idea of him picking up his sword, this very much feels like a goodbye. That one way or another, these two will never reunite. Like, this is their final farewell. We even gave him the prayer. He gave him the prayer to pass on to heaven, which, if we remember Ochi back in the day here early on, his entire fear was that, like, you know, will I even get to heaven? It's just, the writing is so good and the voice work is just as remarkable. Some people like to criticize that, oh, the production's not that crazy. And it's like, I disagree. I think the production is exactly what it needs to do. These, like, the animation when he was running and dodging the arrow, which, goddamn, his eyesight is next level, I think did exactly what it needed to. It didn't look disappointing. But for the most part, we're dealing with characters sitting around talking. You can only do so much, and that's where mood lighting and atmosphere comes in, and I think they do a hell of a job. Like, I firmly disagree with people who say that this is a underwhelming visual anime. Sometimes you could maybe argue it could move a bit more, but in general, the art is so good at what it does, the voice work, the sound effects, the lighting, it does its job. Now, my only issue has ever been is that sometimes it's too dark visually to see what's happening at times, but it is what it is. But in general, like, no, this anime is 10 out of 10 top to bottom for me. And just, I am so glad it's not just a single episode left. We have, I think it's 24 episodes total, but either way, like, it is no damn wonder this manga is award-winning. And I forget the name of the award, but it's an award that doesn't get given out all too often or to too many. Like, this is a masterpiece. Like, this is one of the best anime that has come out in the past decade. I refuse to take further questions on that. Nowak dies. Nowak is injured and Ochi retreats, and somehow both him and Bedeni make it out alive. Or Bedeni ends up saving him, which could also still be a possibility. He gives him the letter, sacrifices himself. That could also be a possibility. Thoughts down below. I knew it was going to get bad when the research was quote-unquote finished. Where do you think it goes? I really wish I had 3 episodes to watch and not just 2 today, but let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're around here. Of course, ring that bell. Like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions on all these episodes over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got 4-6. Andrew Thomas, Rookie, Omega Alpha 83, Winter Naomi Vera, Master Creator, Aracito, Alexin Free, Shadow Gaming 396, Peaceful Hermit, and we also have Krizo Wiper. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.